Right, so getting into this then, going by the order that they've put these Pokemon in. Paldean Tauros. I did like this a lot more than I do now when I first started playing the game. It's a really good Pokemon, don't get me wrong. But about halfway through while streaming it on Twitch, I found out about the other two versions of Tauros. And the Blaze breed was just so good that it kind of bumped the regular one down. The regular one seems kind of boring now compared to that one. The Water breed, I like. I don't like it as much as the Blaze breed. But the Water one's very strong. I don't know whether it would be in Arceus or God tier. It's either top good tier or in Arceus tier. I think just based on the fact that I can't really decide, I'm going to put it in good tier. Arceus tier I feel like needs to be Pokemon that I look at and go, yeah, 100% Arceus tier. So I'm going to put that in good tier, but it's very high. It's kind of like the middle between the two. Paldean Wooper, I like it, but it doesn't change enough from the Johto Wooper. So based on that, I'm going to put it in OK tier. There's nothing wrong with any of the Pokemon that go in the OK tier. They just don't stand out to me. Sprigatito, despite the fact that I picked Fuecoco, is my favourite of the first form starters. Again, I'm trying to decide between good tier and Arceus tier. I think I'm going to go Arceus tier, you know. I think I am. I think I really like Sprigatito. Floragato, I really like. There's just something about it that makes me want to put it in good tier. But it's like high good tier, you know what I mean? And Meowscarada is kind of the same as well. There's nothing wrong with these Pokemon, I just prefer Sprigatito. Fuecoco, I'm going to put in good tier. I only picked it because of the fact that I had a feeling that it was going to turn into something amazing. We'll get into whether or not I actually stick with that opinion in a minute. But there's nothing wrong with Fuecoco. That's going to go in good tier. Crocalaw. I'm going to put that in average tier. There's something about the derpy face. No, maybe okay tier. The design isn't eye-catching, but the flame nest on its head that also looks like a sombrero is what's making me want to push it up to okay. I think I'll put it in okay, because I don't want to be too harsh on it. And the sombrero flame egg nest is such a good design, especially when following it with Skeledirge's design. So yeah, I think I'm happy putting Crocalaw there. Skeledirge, I'm going to put in... You know what, I'm going to put it in Arceus tier. I picked Fuecoco because I felt like it was going to have a fantastic final evolution, Fuecoco, and it kind of did. I'm really happy with Skeledirge, and I was really happy when it turned into that, so I think I'll go Skeledirge in Arceus tier. Quaxly I'm going to put in OK tier. I never got behind Quaxly as much. It felt like the weakest of the starters, and I still feel that way. So it's not a bad design. Like I said, everything in OK tier that's kind of like, they're decent, but they don't really stand out to me. Quaxwell, I think I'm going to put in average. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it in average. When it comes to the middle forms, Floragato is definitely the better of the starters. Crocalaw almost also made it into average. It's just the Fire Nest Sombrero kind of held it up a little bit more. But Quaxwell doesn't really have that design quirk to save it the way that Crocalaw did. Quaquaval, I actually quite like. It's actually my favourite part of the Quaxly line. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's got this kind of like dancey fighting style to it, and I actually quite like it. I was actually really impressed finding out what Quaquaval actually looks like as the final form of Quaxly. So yeah, I'm going to put that in good tier. Lechonk, I didn't really get behind the way the internet did. I feel kind of bad putting it in average tier, but there's not really anything about it that stands out. So I'm going to put Lechonk in average tier. And I'll probably go the same with Oinkalong, both the male and female versions. Yeah. The Dunsparce. I like Dunsparce, and I waited ages for its evolution. But it's just a longer Dunsparce. And there's nothing wrong with the design. But yeah, I'm going to put it in bad tier. Tarantula. It's a spider wrapped in a web. It's not bad, but it doesn't really stand out to me. Spidops, however, single-handedly proves why I would not want to live in the Pokemon world. But it's a sick design. I'm putting it in Arceus tier. Nimble doesn't really stand out. I'm going to put it in average. Low kick stands out a bit more. But again, yeah. No, I'm going to put low kicks in okay tier. Rella. The dung beetle. I'm trying to decide between these two. I think I'll put Rella in okay. But I think what I want to do, actually, is bump it up to the top of the okay tier. Rabsca, however, I'm going to put it in good tier. And I'm going to put it just under the Tauros. I actually really like Rabsca. And its psychic typing really just stands out. Greavard I'm going to put in okay tier, I think. No, I'm going to put it in good tier. I really like Greavard. Houndstone, however, is just a bigger Greavard. And based on that, it's going to go in okay. There's nothing wrong with Houndstone's design. I just expected, when I found out that Greavard does evolve, something just a little bit more eye-catching than that. Flittle will go in average. Espartha, I think, should go in average. Farigiraf. Just like with Dunsparce, I'm a big fan of Girafarig. And when I found out that it had an evolution, I was quite excited. But it just sort of goes inside its tail. I don't want to put it in bad tier. But average tier, I think. I can't really justify putting it any higher up than that. Wiglet. I'm going to have to put it in bad. I know that it was a meme when it was first revealed. I'm going to go Wugtrio as well. Wiglet and Wugtrio, they shouldn't really exist. If they were Paldean Diglett and Paldean Dugtrio, I might have liked them a lot more, I think. But based on what they are, yeah, they don't stand out to me. Dondozo, I'm going to put in good tier. And I'm going to put it high good tier as well. I almost want to put it in Arceus tier, but I want to protect that tier a little bit more. Veluza. Weirdly, Veluza didn't stand out to me until I found it as a random encounter shiny. Then I loved it. So, based on how I feel about it now, good tier. Right, now we're moving on to Finizen. I waited ages for a dolphin Pokemon. And you know what? They didn't disappoint. I'm going to put it good tier. Palafin is pretty much just Finizen with a heart on its chest. And because of the fact that it's passed off as an evolution, I'm going to put it in bad tier. I know it sounds weird because they kind of look exactly the same. But just the fact that that is the evolution of Finizen, I'm putting it in bad tier. I know that it does have another form, so I'm glad that this is a separate entity on this list. Hero form Palafin. I'm going to put it in good tier, but a low good tier. Yeah, no, good tier is where I want to put that. Smoliv, again, didn't really stand out to me. I'm going to put it in average tier. Dolliv, I like a little bit more. Again, it doesn't really stand out too much, though. However, Arboliv, I actually really like. Like I said while I was streaming Scarlet, if it was a Grass and Fairy type, I probably would have used it. Grass and Normal doesn't really make me too interested in using it, but as a design, I actually quite like it. Capsakid is okay. It's just sort of a chick with an egg on its head. It's fine. You know, nothing wrong with any of the Pokemon in the OK tier. Just they don't stand out to me too much. Scovillain, however, easily Arceus tier. A fire and grass type bell pepper Pokemon. It's just perfect, and it just looks plainly evil. I really like the design, and I'm glad they went there with it. Tadbulb, there's nothing offensive about it, but I don't really care about it. I'm going to put it in bad tier. Yeah, no, it's just an electric tadpole. Bellybolt is fine, but again, I wasn't really sold on it when we first saw it either. Nothing against it as a Pokemon, it just doesn't stand out to me. Varoom, I actually quite like. I'm torn between okay and good tier. I think I'll put it in good tier. Yeah. No, yeah, I think I will. I think I'm good with that being there. Revavoom is kind of like a car. It's kind of like more of the engine. I think I'd have liked it more if it was actually the party bus that Team Star used, but the fact that it's just the engine is a bit disappointing. But again, there's nothing wrong with the design at all. I think Earthworm I'm going to put in good tier. It's got a derpy little face. I love him. He's great. Tandemaus, I'm going to put it in okay tier. Yeah, I'm putting Tandemaus in okay tier. Mousehold, however, is great. Not so much the 2 form, but the 4 form. I actually just like the little mouse family that it's got going on. Yeah, I really like the little mouse family that they've got going on. It's just an interesting idea for a Pokemon, and I really like it. Normally I don't like it when it's just sort of like multiple Pokemon as one entity, but I think it really works with Mousehold. So Tuddle is really, really cute, but there's not really too much else about it. So I'm going to put that in okay tier. So Titan is amazing. I'm putting that really high up in good tier though. It's one of the most standoutable Pokemon. It's not really a word, but you know what I mean. It's one of the Pokemon that stood out the most pre-release. And now that we've seen every Pokemon in the generation, yeah, it still stands out. Frigibax, I'm going to put it in average. I don't like its face. There's just something about its face that I don't like. Normally the first form, Pseudo-Legendary, is really cute and stands out. This one, I don't feel it. Arctobax, however, looks like a Spinosaurus, and I've been waiting for a Spinosaurus Pokemon pretty much the whole time that Pokemon's existed. I really like him. I'm going to put it in good tier. And Baxcalibur, I'm going to put it in good tier too. It's not quite Arceus tier for me, but it's a really strong design. In fact, I'm going to move both of these up to the higher end of good tier, I think. Tatsugiri is sushi. It's fine. It doesn't stand out to me the way that I feel like it should. It's fine. Cyclizar is fine. I feel like I would have liked it a lot more. I feel like I should have liked it a lot more. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's an okay tier. Pawmi, I don't really get the hype behind Pawmi. It's probably the weakest Pikachu clone we've ever had. Not a big fan of it. Pawmo, again, Pawma, you know what, all three of them. I don't really get the hype behind them. Yeah, no. They've never stood out to me. I've never had any interest in using them. They just sort of exist. Wattrel, I actually quite like. I'm going to put it, I think, around the Quaxley and Crocodile section of OK. I feel like when I saw it, I liked it a lot. But yeah, now that I've seen it more, it's okay. Kilowattrel, I'm going to put it in average. Nothing wrong with it. Just when I evolved my Wattrel, it was a bit disappointing to see that's what it turned into. I think that might be the reason why Wattrel kind of went down in my estimations once I saw what it turned into. Bombardier, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Squawkabilly is Elvis Parrots. Yes. Elvis Parrots for the win, all 4 of them. Right, Flamigo is a fighting type. Apparently the name is a Spanish pun on something to do with boxing. And its body looks like a boxing glove. Flamigo's in Arceus tier. I know that it's become a meme of Pokemon running out of ideas. Nah, they haven't run out of ideas. Flamigo is amazing. I will hear absolutely no slander of Flamigo. I actually caught it early game expecting to use it throughout my playthrough because of how much I liked it. Didn't think that it would be that good, and I've now come to realise, apparently according to the VGC pros, it's actually one of the best Pokemon in the game. So I'm kind of wishing I'd have gone through my playthrough using it. So there's that. Clorf, I never really got the hype behind, but there's nothing wrong with it, so it's going in okay tier. Knackley doesn't really stand out at all. It's just a Salt Rock. You know, which is fine. Every generation has to have something like that, but Knacklestack is basically the Minecraft Pokemon. I'm going to put it in okay tier. It's better than Knackley. Garganacl, I'm going to put that in good tier. I feel like this evolution tree kind of just gets better and better as it goes on. And I think that's kind of, yeah, average tier, okay tier, good tier. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty about average. Glimmet, I actually really like Glimmet. There's something about it I really like. I can't tell whether it's a plant or an animal, but I like it. And Glamora, I'm going to put it in good tier too. I really like Glamora. Shroodle, I'm going to put it in average tier. There's nothing wrong with it, but it kind of doesn't stand out, which is a bit strange. Because Shroodle evolves into Grafaiai, which is my favourite Generation 9 Pokemon. Grafaiai, there isn't even competition for this. It's at the top of Arceus tier. It's my favourite Pokemon to Generation 9. So it's a bit weird that Shroodle is so low down this list. I was a bit disappointed to find out that Grafaiai's pre-evolution is so boring. But I love everything about Grafaiai's design. The shape of it, the fact that it has poison in its fingertip that it uses as a paintbrush to create art. Just amazing. Grafaiai, I love everything about it. I didn't expect it to be so tanky either. It actually saved me quite a lot in a lot of the late game battles for being so tanky. And yeah, no, Grafaiai, there will always be a spot on my team for that. Love Grafaiai. It's one of my favourite Pokemon of all time. Easily top 5. Fido didn't really stand out to me when I first saw it. I know the internet kind of swooned over these cute Pokemon that were revealed before the game came out, like Lechonk and Fido, but it didn't really stand out to me. Dashbun, however, I really like Dashbun. The question is, how much do I like Dashbun? Do I like it enough to be top good tier or lower Arceus tier? I actually really like Dashbun. You know what? I think I'm going to put it in Arceus tier, you know. Yeah, screw it, yeah, no, yeah. It's a cinnamon bun dog. That's also a fairy type. Yeah, I love it. Arceus tier for sure. Mischief doesn't really stand out to me too much. It's just sort of there. Mabustiff, I probably wouldn't like it as much if it weren't for its Arven's Mabustiff story. But because of that, I'm going to push it up to quite high in good tier as well. The sinister smile on its face when you're battling it is amazing. So, I think good tier for my boss diff. Yeah, no, easily. Bramblin, it's fine. You know what, I'm gonna put it in average tier. Bramblegast, however, is going in good tier. The smile on its face, knowing that it's a grass and ghost type, it's actually pretty cool. Bramblin, there's not really much to it. Bramblegast, I feel like has a lot more personality in that design. Gimmighoul chest form is going in good tier. I think I'll put it between Quackleval and Fuecoco in good tier. No, yeah, I like that. Gimmighoul, loved it since I first saw the design. Roaming form Gimmighoul, I think I'll put it around the same place. Nothing wrong with its design at all. I like how nerdy it looks. And yeah, no, I've got no problems with that. Good tier for both of them. Mid-good tier, I think, is a good place for Gimmighouls, both chest form and roaming form. Gholdengo just looks like the most ridiculous cheese string known to man. It's in good tier, but it's lower good tier, I think. I was expecting something very different from Gimmighoul's evolution. Gholdengo, I think, will be good tier, but it's going to be lower good tier. Alright, Great Tusks was the first Paradox Pokemon we ever got a look at. It's definitely going to go good tier at least. I don't think it's Arceus tier, but it's very high good tier. I think putting it between Dondozo and Robusca is probably the best place to put it. If you're going to reveal any Paradox Pokemon before... Well, technically it wasn't the first Paradox Pokemon, but we'll get into that. The first one that we knew of as a Paradox Pokemon. No, high good tier is probably where I want to put that. Brute Bonnet, I like, but it's probably one of the weakest of the past Paradox Pokemon, so I'm going to put it in low good tier. No, yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's fine. Sandy Sharks, I like less. It's probably my least favourite of the past Paradox Pokemon. I think putting it high okay tier, though, is probably... Or do I put it low good tier? No, I think I'll put it high okay tier. Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with its design, but it's probably my least favourite of the past Pokemon. Screamtail is going to go very high, good tier. I will put it between Great Tusk and Robusca. I honestly thought it was going to be a dragon type because of the way that tail on its head looks. Psychic and Fairy's fine though, but I would have made it a dragon type personally. But its design itself, it's like the most messed up looking Jigglypuff ever, and I love it. Fluttermane, I'm going to put... It doesn't change a lot, but it looks like a more evil version of Misdreavus. And Misdreavus' design is fine. So I think I'll put it sort of like high, mid, good tier. Again, it's a fine Paradox Pokemon. It's just, I'll say good tier. Slitherwing, I'm going to put low good tier. Around Brute Bonnet. It's not really that memorable. No, you know, I think I'll bump it up a little bit more. I think I'll put it around where Fluttermane is. I think that feels fair. I like it more than just regular. I like it a bit more than regular Volcarona. So, yeah, no Fluttermane. High, mid, good tier feels about right for it. Roaring Moon is going to go Arceus tier. I love Roaring Moon. It's basically just Mega Salamence, but looking a little bit more dinosaur-like. And which is weird, because I'm not really a big fan of Mega Salamence. But Roaring Moon I really like. I wish it was Fairy type though. I'd have made it Dragon and Fairy, which would have been a very interesting combination. It's Dragon and Dark, which is a little bit disappointing. I'd have made it Dragon and Fairy, but design-wise, I really like it. I'm trying to make it work on a team. But Arceus tier easily for Roaring Moon. Iron Treads. Iron Treads. Iron Treads. I like the shape of it, but its face kind of lets it down for me. Mid-good tier, maybe. I don't like the fact that all the future Paradox Pokemon just ended up looking like robots with digital faces. It works for some of them. Iron Treads, I feel like if it had had a more... less of a flat face, I guess. Its face just looks like a TV screen, and then that's the part that lets it down for me, is its face. The rest of the body shape and stuff, I think looks fantastic. It's the face that really lets it down for me. But Iron Treads, I think mid-good tier. Iron Moth is literally just a robot Volcarona. So based on that, I'm going to put it in good tier, low good tier. There's nothing wrong with it, and it does stand out, but it is literally just robot Volcarona. At least Slitherwing has, like being a past Volcarona, has its own personality. But Iron Moth is literally just Volcarona turned into a robot. It's probably the least creative Paradox Pokemon in the game. Again, nothing wrong with it, just low good tier. I'm fine with that. Iron Hands is an interesting one. It didn't really catch my eye when I first saw it, but I've been using it mostly in raids, and it's a beast. And I think based on that, I like it a lot more than I did when I first saw it. I think putting it in high good tier, just behind Baxcalibur, I think that feels fair. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. Iron Jugulus has got the same problem as Iron Moth. It's just a robot Hydreigon. I think I like it a little bit more than Iron Moth because of the fact that the flower type thing around each of its heads are literally like robot piercings. But it is literally just robot Hydreigon. So I think that it suffers the same issues as Iron Moth. At least when it comes to things like... I know Iron Hands is literally just a robot Hariyama, but there are aspects to this design that are very much different from Hariyama. Iron Jugulus and Iron Moth, I don't really feel like they have that, so they're going to be low good tier. Iron Thorns, the robot Tyranitar, easily going in Arceus tier. You know what, I'm going to move them up a little bit in Arceus tier. I'm going to put them just above Scoville and that and Roaring Moon. Iron Thorns is easily the best of the robot versions of Pokemon. I feel like the robot aesthetics really work with Tyranitar. I like how the accents on its body have literally become like LED screens and lights. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. Arceus tier for Iron Thorns. Iron Bundle. I really like Iron Bundle. Yeah, it's funny, I did actually predict a future Delibird. When I saw that the themes of this game were going to be past and future, I kind of thought, maybe we'll see past and future versions of Pokemon. This is back in May. I predicted all of that. But I would have gone with a fire type. Kind of like playing off the idea of climate change. You know, the Pokemon that represents winter and coldness. Literally being the Christmas Pokemon. Becoming a fire type, I think that would have been more creative. Seeing Iron Bundle, I'm going to put it in good tier. I think the colours really work on its design. They're so vibrant. No, yeah, high good tier is pretty much where Iron Bundle should be. Iron Valiant. I know it's pretty much just a robot Gallade, but it's a good robot Gallade, you know what I mean? I think high to mid good tier, around Slitherwing and Floragato is around where it should be. Again, if you notice, the Paradox Pokemon are quite high up on the list. Regardless of what criticisms I've got of them, they're quite high up on the list, and I honestly wasn't expecting the Paradox Pokemon in the game. I had a theory that we might see things like that. but I weren't expecting them to do it. And every single one of them, regardless of whether I've got any criticisms of them, none of them are really bad designs. I actually really like the Paradox Pokemon concept, so Iron Valiant, mid to high good tier. Ting Lu, one of the Ruinous Quartet. Ting Lu. I actually quite like the concept of the Ruinous Quartet. The King's Treasures from, what was it, 200 years ago? 2,000 years ago. I completed all the history classes in the live stream. 2,000 years ago. Come to life as Pokemon. Ting Lu I really like. I'm going to put it mid good tier, I think. I really do like it. I think it's a strong design. Yeah, no, Ting Lu, I think mid good tier. Maybe high good tier, actually. I think I'll put it above Iron Hands and behind Baxcalibur. I think, no, yeah, that's where I want to put it. Chen Pao. I do really like it. It's like a saber-toothed cat in snowy mountains with swords for teeth. You can't really go wrong with that design. It's going to be badass no matter how you do it. I think putting it around Ting Lu is probably the best thing to do there. It's a really good design. I think, yeah, no, I like it. I like it, like a snow mounting saber-toothed cat with swords for teeth. Again, it's hard to do that wrong. Wo Chen is probably, I'd say high. You know what? I'm gonna put it in between these two. Wo Chen is kind of like a slug made from stone tablets. No, I like it. It's a weird looking Pokemon, but there's nothing wrong with it. No, yeah, I like it. I like Wo Chen. Yeah, high good tier. Chi Yu, the goldfish made of fire. Arceus tier. I really like it. I really was impressed with its design when I first saw it. I think, yeah, no, mid Arceus tier is where that should be. Yeah. Yeah, Chi Yu easily Arceus tier. Maybe even above the Paradox Poke. Maybe, you know, I'm going to move Spidops down a little bit. Move Sprigatito down a bit. I'm just going to reorder these in order a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that. Chi Yu is my favourite of the Ruinous Trio. It's a goldfish made out of lava. Alright, we've got two forms of Koraidon here. The fighting form and the ride form. Koraidon I really like. Yeah, I'm going to put it in Arceus tier. I'm going to put it just around Scovillain, I think. Just before Scovillain. I weren't too keen on Koraidon when I first saw it in the initial reveal trailer, but no, yeah, I really like Koraidon. I mean, the ride form, I guess, as well, you know, it's Koraidon still, you know. Miraidon, I probably like less than Koraidon, but not by much. I think I'll put it here. No, I think I'll put it over Tandemaus, but behind Ashburn. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's basically, well, it is a future version of Koraidon. It's Paradox form. Cyclizar is the present version. Koraidon is the one from the past. And Miraidon is the one from the future. It's a Paradox Pokemon. Yeah. No. Miraidon in Arceus tier 2. And the ride form also in the same tier as well. It's the same Pokemon. It looks good as a bike. It looks good as a dragon. Yeah. No, yeah. Arceus tier. Tinkatink doesn't really stand out to me. It's going to go around the same place as Knackley and Shroodle. I know a load of people love Tinkatink, but it is what it is. Tinkertuff I like a lot more. But its design doesn't really stand out to me, so I'm going to put it around by Bellibolt. Tinkerton I like a lot more. But I'm going to put it around Brute Bonnet. Nothing about it screams a Pokemon that I'm going to consider one of my favourites. So low good tier I think is a good place for Tinkerton. Charcadet I'm going to put around Gimmighoul. I liked it a lot more when I first saw it in game. But very quickly I ditched it from the team. It's a fine design, you know. It's a baby version of what it is, you know. It's fine. Mid good tier. Armorage disappoints me a little bit. I'm going to put it around Brute Bonnet, Tinkerton. It's fine. It is what it is, it's fine. Not too keen on the colour combination. Too much on the upper body, not enough on the lower body, I think. Just kind of makes it feel a bit too top heavy for me to really like it. I think is the best way of describing that. Armorage, yeah. Low, good tier. It's fine. Cerulege. Yeah, I'm going to put it Arceus tier, right behind Miraidon. I really like the purple and the blue. The proportions are a lot better than Armorage, I think, overall in the body. I like it a lot more. So yeah, Cerulege, Arceus tier. So sort of like mid Arceus tier. You know, I think that's fine. Toadschool, high good tier. No, you know, I'm gonna put it above the two Paradox Pokemon around Robusca. I really like Toadschool. It's a tentacle that walks funny. It's amazing. Toadscruel, again. Nothing wrong with it. Love it. I really wanted to make that work on my team. I couldn't find a good set for it. It's a grass and ground type. There's probably something you can do with it. Clodsire. I didn't really have a lot of opinions on this when I first saw it. Then I saw the spikes come out of its back, and I thought it was amazing. So Clodsire, I'm going to put around the top of good tier, I think. I like it a lot more than Quagsire. I'm going to put that high good tier, I think, Clodsire. Yeah. No, yeah, I'm happy with that. Finally, we've got Annihilate. Probably one of the best names for a Pokemon ever. And a pretty good design to go along with it. I think I'll put it sort of mid good tier. Remember, that's still pretty good. That's still pretty good sort of ranking for it. A ghost type Primeape called Annihilate. There's nothing to hate there. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this list. Yeah, no, I've got no problems with any of this list. Arceus tier. These are definitely my favourite Pokemon of the generation. Easily. Good tier are Pokemon I really like. Like, really like every single Pokemon here. They're just one step below the Arceus tier. Again, the OK tier, there's nothing wrong with them at all. They just don't stand out to me as much as all the other Pokemon. I know it's a bit weird that Tandemaus is in OK tier as a 3 form, but not as the 4 form. With the 4 form being in Arceus tier. I just really like the 4 mice together more than the 3. Average tier, again, these are just Pokemon that just sort of, they're there, you know. There's nothing offensive about them, nothing bad about them, but they're just sort of there. And bad tier are, they're not so much Pokemon that I don't like, just Pokemon that I expected more from, I think. So I think I'm happy with that list. So don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section below. Tell me how your list would differ from mine. I will drop a link to this tier list in the description below or in the pinned comment, so have a look out for that. And let me know where your list is different from mine and where you would rank a lot of these Pokemon. Don't forget to subscribe to me here on YouTube for more content. And don't forget to head on over to twitch.tv/JamesTheThunder and go and follow me on there to be notified whenever I go live in the future. I've been James the Thunder. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.